getting you off of the day you had. Get your mind on something else. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Dr. Neon, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. I think the street smart one is the funniest and the best. I can't believe you tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. Oh, she most certainly is. Didn't you know that there's no better place in Scarlet Hollow to stock up on the devil's lettuce than my little old tea shop? What? I am not some kind of stoner. You know what? It doesn't matter. Think what you will. Hello, Ninetails. Welcome in. How are you doing? I'm just pulling your leg, dear. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. You know, I probably should turn the music for this back up, because I do happen to like the music. That is not what I meant to do. Close that. Do that. You almost got me. If I hadn't have just looked, you almost got me with that one. I was in the middle of doing something. Yes, Naked Gun does look good, and I probably will catch it in theaters. I think it's a perfect segue for Liam Neeson. Like a perfect vehicle for him to go into a next phase career. I mean, he already did it with A Million Ways to Die in the West, which, while it may not have been the best film in the world, it was pretty good. I actually didn't mind it. I'm going to listen in because I know there's got to be something shady going on. You find a subtle spot near the door to listen in. The walls to the tea room are surprisingly thick, and you can only make out snippets of the conversation. I know. Short notice. Aren't easy to come by. Is there enough? Just fine. Make sure this is all. Not keeping it. You only have one. What, you can't hear me? Well, nobody's said anything yet and actually responded to what I said, so I assume it might be on your end. Oh, okay. Plenty of times. Your listening session is halted as the tinkling of bells announce another patron. Excuse me? Wait, you're Darker Neon, aren't you? My name's Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. I'm sorry for your loss. Now you're just mocking me. Thank you. The policeman said he might just be out hunting somewhere, but me and my mama both know he ain't coming back. Mama's pretty broke up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the house now, but it ain't easy. Me and him was supposed to be bringing Big Betty to the state fair this week, but now he's gone, and as of this morning, so is she. So I suppose, if I'm not going fair, I may as well make myself useful and get out in the woods to look for what's left of my daddy. You was there, right? Could you tell me where to look so I can try and find him? I don't want to send this guy to his death. I'll ask him first. Big Betty one of your chickens? Nah, she ain't chicken. Big Betty's a prize pumpkin. She was a big lady, too. I expect she was at least 2,000 pounds. Not too easy to move something like that, especially not keeping in one piece. Could be she rolled off downhill, but I can't be looking for her just yet, what with everything else going on. It's dangerous up there. I wouldn't go poking around. I ain't a stranger to what these hills have to offer. Daddy always said I wouldn't have nothing to fear so long as I learned how to use my fists, so he taught me how to do all that. Those woods might still be scary sometimes, but I reckon there's no better way to show my daddy I've learned those lessons than go out there to find him. Hey, why hello Infinite, welcome in. Actually, it depends. If the hill is in the proper setting, like if it's facing like the east, so the sun rises on it in the morning where it's not as hot, but it loses the heat by the end of the day, like before midday, that hill just keeps it out of direct sunlight. It's actually perfect for growing large melons and gourds, stuff like that. I'm just saying. So far, so good for me. Kind of bad for Green Jeans, but we're trying to take his mind off of it. Shire life. Hey, the only reason why I know that is because me and my mom tried to grow cantaloupes and watermelons in Southern California on the edge of Death Valley, and we were in the Mojave Desert. Like, it's literally like right on the edge in between those two. And did you know a watermelon will split if the water gets to boiling temperatures inside? It'll literally blow up. I didn't. It was quite interesting to see happen, though. So, hot days. Keep your melons out of the sun, people. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I don't know. Hot. Hot. Like, explode your watermelon hot. Have you seen anything strange on the farm the past couple of days? Not really, no. But I've been awful busy with everything that's still been happening. Them chickens keep disappearing, though. Don't. Actually, I mean, to be honest, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Wait. Don't take that the wrong way, Brando. Anyway. Oh, I love the art. Hey, Gossip. Welcome in. Hiking in August in Arizona. 3 tips I have for you. 1, don't hike in the middle of the day. Not if you can help it. Flat out. If you can help it, the second tip is take a wet shirt. Like, grab a shirt. If you have the opportunity, soak the crap out of it, squeeze it, wrap it around your head while it's wet. The second thing is take the shirt you're going to wear, wet it down, squeeze quite a bit of the water out, and wear that. That's good, Infinite. I'm glad you're in a good mood. Everybody deserves to be in a good mood. Except for Hitler. But that's a story for a different day. How's my XO doing? Oh, congratulations. I think that's great. Bro, you're gonna die. Green jeans, you're gonna die. Do you wear like a linen underneath of your armor? Do you wear something underneath the armor? Because the one thing I can tell you is whatever you're wearing underneath of the armor, soak it. Soak it in water. Because the heat will cause the water to evaporate. This is nature's cooling. People forget that. You can cool things down just by the process of evaporation. It's actually why canned soda, when you pop it open, ends up being 1 to 2 degrees colder than it was prior to opening it. Just because of that energy release. For those of you that didn't know. Same thing with a bottle of soda, by the way. It's actually one of the reasons why carbonation was developed. Was so that we could do some cooling. Well, yeah, they better be AC cabins. I mean, you're in Arizona, almost everything has AC. I'd be surprised if it didn't have AC. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're monsters that show up when something bad is going to happen. And they're the things that have been stealing your chickens. I ain't never heard of a ditchling before, but whatever they are, they won't stop me from trying to find him. Well, he's not going to stop anyway. Might as well narrow his search so he doesn't go wandering someplace he really shouldn't. I still love that piece of fire, Infinite, and it's a tier 1 thing, so I'm not going to go do that. If I remember correctly. Clicky. Yeah, tier 1. Hello, is this the home of the Cluck Cluck Deluxe? Because I want a Cluck Cluck Deluxe. He died in the northwest edge of town, off the Asagina Trail. As Gina? I don't know. Thank you, Darker Neon. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere, all by his lonesome. He's dead. And please tell Miss Scarlet, I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Oh my God. I overslept. Still got to make myself breakfast. If y'all want, you can swing by. Otherwise, meet you at the library and figure out a plan. I think I'm good. Just had a big fight. Not really hungry. Gonna chill in my band for a while. If you want to hang out, though. Otherwise, see you guys at the library. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Oh, I can't talk to... What's his name? I was going to see about talking to him. Tabitha's going to be so pissed at me. But there's so many things I want to go do. I think I'm going to check on Kanika. Because she just had that fight. I remember now. You follow the direction Kanika stormed off in and soon find yourself in a disused parking lot. Behind the shuttered shops of Main Street. She's sitting alone in the back of her van. Dagnabbit, I thought of a good joke earlier and I was trying to remember it for stream and I absolutely forgot it. Oh, odd thing. I think I'm slowly teaching my cat to meow at me when I point at her. Because I walked by to go get something and as I was walking by, I pointed at her. And I said, meow, like an imperative, like, no, you need to meow right now. And she meowed back. So I gave her little scritchings and I went on my way. As I was walking back to take stuff to my desk, pointed at her and said, meow. In the same way, imperative, you need to meow back. And she's like, meow? Or no, she didn't meow right off the bat. I just stopped in front of her because, the first time I just walked by. This time I stopped because she wasn't. So I pointed at her. Waited. Didn't say anything more. And then she meowed, so I gave her restrictions again. Then when she was sitting over here near me, pointed at her like, meow. She didn't do it, so I didn't give her restrictions. Next time I tried it, though, pointed at her, said meow. No, meow. She meowed back, so I gave her restrictions. Slowly training her. Don't get me wrong, I'm under no illusions. You really can't train a cat very well, but I think it's funny. Hey, Dark and Neon. Sorry if you stopped in to find me at the store. I thought it was funny. I taken a mental health day. Plus, I feel like an ass. I'm exhausted, and I'm a little out of it. Must have inhaled too much coal dust last night. Probably all of us did. I'm not flirting. I don't think she's sick. What's going on with you and your folks? Are you sure you want me to get into it? I don't want to dump all that drama on you. Only if you're comfortable sharing. I don't want to pressure you into saying something you'd rather keep private. Nice. Well, not nice that she thought the meds were for her, but it's nice that you had that reminder. I mean, we went through a life or death situation together last night. That's got to count for something. So after I got home from last night, I had to deal with my brother. He really made me feel like I was the bad guy, especially once we got home. Like what happened to Rosalina was my fault. And Mom didn't help. She never does. She always takes his side, saying he's young and allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes that I could never dream of getting away with. When we told her what happened, she just said the same shit she always does about family and getting along and sent us to bed with tea. Her favorite method of conflict resolution. As if a little hot leaf water ever really helped anybody. It does, but it doesn't help if you're just using it to get it, to avoid the problem. What's the deal with her and tea anyways? I don't know if you've seen the sign in the tea room, but apparently tea is life. Oh, speaking of that. So remember Wednesday, I think is what it was, when I talked about the app Tea? Apparently it's already been hacked and everything's been dumped on the internet. So, yeah. Which, if you weren't there, Tea is this app for people to post about their ex-boyfriends. And it's like supposed to be for women only. They have to verify with pictures. They have to do all of this stuff. I think it's even with an ID and stuff. Well, they've been doxxed. Everybody, because you have to use your ID and everything, and it was hacked, and so they just released everything. And I think that was mean. Like, that was over the line. As much as this app T was kind of brutal, but I kind of called it when I said it was nothing but set up for revenge. And I just assumed somebody was going to hack into it and mess up the whole thing. I never really thought that the app was dumb enough to actually store all that sensitive information on their own site. Like, that's why a whole lot of places, like if they ask you to verify your person, who you are, they'll send you to a third-party verification site, or you have to go through a third-party verification thing within the site. Because they don't want to store that data. That's a really bad look. So, I mean, one, they already screwed up by having terrible security. Not so much... Again, I don't think what was done was right. If it was me, I would have just released their pictures. No names, no nothing. Just release their pictures. Just basically as I got you. Not in a full-on doc situation, if that makes sense. But just say, hey, these are the users of T. So, if you notice somebody that, I just realized that that's a death's head moth that she's wearing. And they use the same one from Silence of the Lambs. I think it's called the Death Head's Moth. But anyway, that app, I mean, again, I think it's scummy that they hacked into it and released, basically doxed all these people. One, I think whoever did it should be sought after. Because they doxed them. Apparently, they released even the driver's license and stuff like that. That's a bridge too far. Don't release the names because names can be tracked down, but faces are a lot harder to track. I mean, not everybody has, facial recognition software at their fingertips. You can do like a reverse image search and possibly find their Facebook, but I also know a lot of people don't have Facebooks, or if they do, they're using filters and stuff like that. So it's a lot harder for facial recognition software to find you at the commercial level, not at the private level. Use whatever filters you want. They know how to reverse those algorithms. That kind of thing. But I mean, it's exactly what I figured was going to happen. Like almost down to the... Well, it's online stalking. Like, they were literally giving full names of these guys. They could actually get these women for doxing them. Because they were giving full names and ratings and what the guy did and what they didn't do. Like, how the app worked is brutal. Like... Well, I don't know if any of you know, what was that old website my buddies used to laugh and joke at? Was it Hot or Not? I think is what it was called. Where you rate people. Only now imagine they actually have a dossier on you. Height, weight, religion, red flags you've given off, green flags you've given off, whatever. Like all of this stuff. It's not just suing for defamation if she lied. They can sue them for doxing them. Because there was enough, you could even set up alerts for if a certain person was being talked about. They didn't even use nicknames for these people. That's the thing that's brutal. The other thing I want to know is why do you have a whole app for that? Like, I know that women need something to make themselves feel secure in our day and age. Technologically speaking, some way to find out if a guy's a jerk, a creep, possible other issues, trafficker, something to that effect. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand that. But I don't understand the need for a whole app. Because, one, it's filtering all the information into one spot. Too easy to hack, too easy to find. Two, this was a nationwide app. What is some guy going all over the nation? How many of these guys, go outside of their borders? Well, but the same thing can be said for women. Women and men aren't that different in the dating scene. I'm just saying, there are more risks that women take with roofing, with stuff like that, yeah. And why are men being dirty little duders? Because they're human. As for as many people you have above board and perfectly fine, there's a percentage of them that are below board. Men, women, doesn't matter. We're all equal. We all have the same equal opportunity to be good people and bad people. If you're asking why it was hacked, that's easy. All that information in one spot? Of course it was going to be hacked. Literally it was an app about discrimination. It was women only, men, women only, and only talking about men. So it's made for heterosexuals. LGBTQ are mostly discriminated against. Men are discriminated against. So, I mean, you're only serving a percentage of the population and discriminating everybody else. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm just saying that wouldn't you and your friends... Oh, that's fine. Like, do you need an app to talk dirt about your ex? No. I mean, you're in your own area. Okay. I don't know. It's just, it bothers me. It bothers me that, one, that they even felt the need for the app, which means things have to be fixed. That there's things to be fixed. Two, it bothers me that the app was hacked and what they did with the info. That bothers me. I mean, it's better than what they could have done and just told all of the women for, blackmail. It's like, oh, I'll tell your significant other. I'll tell this guy what you said about him. At least they didn't do that. They just dumped it all out on the internet. So now everybody knows. I don't know. It was just a quick thought. Sorry, T making me think of it. It's like she thinks she's some kind of witch. It kind of boiled over this morning, though. She wound up blaming me for letting Miles sneak off into the mines, saying that if I had been working like I was supposed to, he wouldn't have gotten into trouble. Like I'm supposed to be in charge of a sullen teenager every second of the day. And, okay, I'm a parent. I had 2 kids. Yes, I use the older one for watching out for the younger one. Parents do that. But it was maybe an hour or 2 here. It's like, okay, you guys, go walk the dog for, get your exercise, get the dog his exercise. And then come back. They had time away from each other too. And it always bothers me when a parent always uses like the oldest or the older kid to basically parent the children. I'm like, no. Because my brother did that and he resented it. He bullied the crap out of me because, I'm 8 years younger than him. In fact, just the other day we were talking about that. And I told him I don't hold it I don't hold him responsible for that. There's no resentment. Yeah, he bullied me, teased me, but it made me tough. It made me strong. I took it and I didn't break. That's all I can say. I know some people it does bother them. It doesn't really bother me. I blame my parents, though, because they were constantly having to use him because, well, they couldn't be bothered. And when it wasn't him, it was my older sister. And then by the time, they moved out, I was by myself. So just, if you're ever going to have kids or if you have kids, don't use the older kid to parent the younger kid. Yeah, be an older sibling. It's like, oh, you both are going to be outside. Watch over your sibling. Make sure, they're not doing something they're not supposed to. Make sure that somebody's not doing something they're not supposed to towards them. But you don't have to, hover over them and, you can't do that. It's like, no, still let them be kids. I did have to explain that to my oldest. That, no, it's not about being a parent. Stop that. It's just about watching out. There's a difference between watching out for your sibling and being responsible for your sibling. That's a better way to say it. Don't make your kids responsible for their siblings. That is one of the worst friggin' things you can do. Just tell them to watch over them. That their level of responsibility will come with that. It's their choice if they choose to become, feel that level of responsibility. It doesn't ingrain the resentment over time. My siblings resented having to it took a long time to repair that relationship. Just flat out. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Sorry. While working. And it's not like I don't care. I'm always stressing out about that kid. Yep. See, that's what I'm saying, is the resentment. The resentment builds, and it builds against the family, not just the parent, not just the other kids. It literally builds that resentment towards everyone in that family. My sister was the same way, even though she didn't have to do half of what my older brother did. And it's not like I don't care. I'm always stressing about that kid, or the store, or the million other little things I'm supposed to deal with. Ouch. That sucks. None of this should be on me. These are the best years of my life, and I'm wasting them as dying town, keeping a store afloat while my mom just messes around with her little herbs or whatever. If you're 18, leave. You got a van, drive on. I lived homeless. I basically left home at 18. I didn't know what I was doing. I lived out of my freaking car. Right? No. I totally understand. My sister's kind of the same way. Or was kind of the same way. She ran away from home at 16 due to her own choices. And I say ran away, but she didn't really run away. Dad drove her to the bus station. She went to live with my brother because she made a lot of mistakes in town and couldn't live there anymore. We'll just put it that way. She sunk her own life in the town we lived in. She didn't want to deal with the consequences of her actions. And it even more made it worse is that I was trying to stop her from doing it. Here I am 12 years old, and just to give you a microcosm, I'm going out into the desert in a lightning and thunderstorm. Now keep in mind, I have been close to lightning strikes twice in my life. Close enough that for most of my life I thought I was actually hit. But I don't have the scars that you normally have, the electrical scars that you normally have from it. But I was close enough for the lightning to hit and knock me back 20 feet. And I don't remember what happened. But I'm out in this thunderstorm trying to drag my sister and her friends that are drunk off their butts back inside before we have a flash flood. I had to babysit them, get them all sat down. I think I even turned on freaking cartoons and brewed coffee so they could sober up. Incidentally, it was the first time I saw real life, nudity, because my sister's best friend decided that was a perfect time to take off her clothes because they're wet. She wasn't trying to be like a show off. It was just like, oh, my clothes are wet. That's how drunk they were. And I'm like, go grab a blanket, go grab towels, like, whatever, guys, here you go. I'm 12. Whatever, I tried to do my best. Yeah, that happens. Only this was me babysitting my older sister. I made it out of here, damn it. I'd gotten into grad school. Right? Actually, I'm going to say it made it even worse, is that I had a crush on her. But I had to be the adult in the situation. I couldn't be a kid. I couldn't be myself. I had to be a grown-up and take care of them. I'm glad I didn't do anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad nothing happened. I'm just saying that makes it even worse, is that here these people are 3 and 4 years older than me. And I'm having to be the adult. When all I wanted to do was party with them. I realized just how that made... Sorry. I wanted to party with them. I realized that, other thing, like I was mentioning that I had a crush on her and stuff like that. And I had mentioned that she had stripped down. That's not what I meant about. Well, see, and my sister helped raise me too, to a certain degree. I mean, but by the time I was 12, I was having to raise her. She was smoking, she was drinking, yeah. Yeah. Well, now rewind that clock by about 3 years because they were 15, which made me, 11, 12. I'm pretty sure they did other things than just drinking because they were way too wasted for the amount of alcohol that they stole from the house. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, there you go. I'm just saying for mentally where you were at 15, remember, like where you were at 12. All of that shit's just starting. All of the hormones are just starting to rage. You don't know what to do with them. And I had to shut it down in me just to make sure nobody got frickin' hurt. I only found him because of my dog. I had a dog named Cindy. Long story short, that was the only name she came to. Right? I had to send my dog out finding him. That tells you anything. Oh, and even better is that guess where I found him? On the railroad track. Right? Well, yeah, obviously that's what I was doing too. Luckily, everybody was too drunk to notice. I mean, again, 12, no control. So, I mean, it's just like, I had to do that. Do I resent my sister over that? No. She was a teenager too. Our parents were constantly fighting. There was no love in the marriage. We were the friggin' target of all of that ire. Of course we were looking for escape. I just found mine in comic books. Comic books and friends, and school of all things. She found her escape in drugs. I just knew I didn't want to turn out like Dad. So I stuck to schooling. But I still ended up like Dad. Drop out, working, working right out, whatever. Although I do know that I don't treat my family or kids like he did. I was good at it. I was going to graduate with honors and everything. But Dad died, and I came back for the funeral. Then I had to stick around just to help Mom sort out a few things. First it was a month, then 2. And now here I am, over a year later, and those few things became my life. Hey, in modern days, you have 7 years to complete the degree. You still have time. Do not despair. You have 7 years before the credits expire. Last I knew. Maybe you don't anymore, but you used to. I don't want to be this person. If I could, I'd just drive this van all the way to the coast, lie down on the beach, and never come back. What about Stella and Reese? Look, when it comes to Reese, I love the dude, but I haven't seen him in person in a long time. Hardly a reason to stay here. Stella, though, I should spend more time with her. It almost sounds like your family's holding you back on purpose. Like they're scared that if you leave, you'll never come back again, and they'll crumble without you. You should leave right now and take me with you. No, I think we were more flirting with Stella than Kanika. And they have no right to hold you back like this. You have no idea how much I needed to hear that. They really make me feel nuts sometimes just for wanting to live my own life. to want to make decisions about my future instead of the future of the family. Yeah. Like, just because I was born into this family, I should be saddled with all its responsibilities. I should just leave. Maybe tomorrow. Stella made all those ghost hunting plans. I can't just skip out on her like that. But yeah, tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. God. And of course, I feel like an asshole for talking about all of this now, the morning after the mine collapse. But I guess that's what pushed all of this over the edge. Nothing like a major disaster to make you question the direction of your life was taken, right? No, I'm not flirting. I think we were flirting with Stella. Oh. Are we still going over to Reese's place today? Oh, right. With everything going on? I almost forgot. Yeah, I think around 4. Here's hoping he's still up for it. I'm dying to know what he's been up to in that little dungeon room of his. He's mysterious. I can't wait to meet this strange basement man. I'm glad you found his Phantom of the Opera vibes intriguing. It's probably going to be good for him to meet new people. Maybe I'll get him to leave his underground fortress every now and then, if his mom lets him. Sup, Green Jeans? I didn't even realize you said you were leaving. Well, that's because you didn't tell me you were leaving. You bastard. Any tips for making a good impression? I don't think you need to worry about making a good impression. If I know Reese, he'll be way too worried about his own shit to even be offended by anything you say. Even if you insult his art, he'd probably just think he deserved it, the poor guy. Don't do that, by the way. It would be like kicking a puppy. And kidnapped you with gas. I don't think I want to know. What kind of art does he do? Really dark stuff. It's good, though. Hey, dark art can be good. The guy is terrible at getting it out there. Not that I blame him, but it's the sort of stuff that'll blow up the second he dies. Which hopefully won't be for a very long time. Sorry to get a little macabre. Macabre. His mom's got it rough. Her whole life's probably been derailed by this. Yeah. I think I think just share a quiet moment. A soft breeze blows across the lot as you and Kanika share a quiet moment. Both your phones buzz in unison. You reach for them at the same time. It is obviously Stella. I almost forgot. It's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar. Meet you all in half an hour. Wow, I totally blanked on Mayor Jimmy thing. It's almost like we just went through a traumatic event or something and I'm not on top of my schedule. But Stella's right. This gives us a chance to meet up with Oscar. And maybe Mayor Jimmy's awful cute. I guess it's time to see the dog mayor. It's a fun time, even if you already know about the mayor's secret. Anyway, we'll chill with Mayor Jimmy, go to Reese's for dinner, then go do some ghost hunting tonight. Thank God we have so much going on today. I really needed that distraction. We're going to get her killed, aren't we? That's why they gave me so many chances to tell her to leave town right now. We're getting her killed. I'm trying not to metagame this, like actually see it before it happens. You know, it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure, but that's the only reason why I can think of narratively why you'd give me so many chances to tell her just to leave and have this whole conversation narratively. So we feel bad that we didn't tell her to leave. But see, then it means that it probably would get Stella killed. You know, you don't, in a story, you don't give this much backstory to a character, at least in good storytelling, and so far this has been pretty good storytelling, without something epic or tragic happening to them. Off to the library we go. Gretch! You and Kanika make your way to the library. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in a corner of the main foyer. It's not the corner, it's the top of the stairs. I can see it right here. Yes! The whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Darker Neon to the mayor for the entire time I've known him. All 3 days. 2 days? 3 days. I've never gotten to introduce someone to the mayor before. Now she's wearing like a Ghostbusters uniform. I think that's hilarious. You notice that? It's like a Ghostbusters jumpsuit. I don't know if you guys care, but I do. I think it's fun. It'll be worth it. Trust us. All right, shall we? Yep, he's a dog. He is a cute dog. Mayor Jimmy is cute. I am taking a screenshot. There we go. You can tell this dog is the mayor from the little sash and his fancy little top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. They don't like each other. Maybe. I don't know. And unless you're mistaken, the serious man by his side is Deputy Franklin, one from the policeman you spoke to following your encounter in the woods on Monday. I thought it was him. Look at puppers. He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. It's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I know. But again, it's that, don't meta game. Tell the story, try and be in the character that you're playing. I mean, he just met her yesterday. Do you really think he wants to chase her off and tell her to leave? You reach forward to take the mayor's little paw in your hand, but his burly security detail stops you. No paw shaking. Only head pats and ear scratches are allowed. Then why did he hold up his paw? Isn't he just the cutest? He's pretty cute. Not Gretch cute, but he's cute. It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends and Winnie's Biscuits. Oh, no, that's no problem. And Winnie's Biscuits. Oh, and the close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mayor is a close fifth, no contest. Gretchen squirms in Stella's arms, straining to get at Mayor Jimmy. I told you she didn't like him. Whoa, Gretchen, calm down, old girl. You're going to pull a muscle. Miss Richardson? Miss Richmond? I'm going to have to ask you and your little dog step away from the mayor. I should have known better. These two have never been able to get along. Stella walks off, struggling to hold Gretchen back. Kanika is quick to follow. I want to talk. I want to talk to Pupper. Hey, Collie. Exactly. Oh, that almost looks like Scruffy. You got the bushy stash and the floppy ears instead of the normal schnauzer cropped ears. I like puppies. Yep. Looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. The same people are still standing at... What, did we just cut in line? We were rude. We're going to show up and just go. That's mean. Literally cut in line of old people and children. Wow. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, you can feel his desperation to make a good first impression, a self-sustained and self-fulfilling prophecy. Valid. Let's see. How do I want to make him sound? He's a pastor, so he should have a strong voice. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Darker Neon? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Yeah, I gotta do this one because that's funny. Let's not kid ourselves. We both know Pearl Ann's in hell. Oh, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good deep down inside. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. And I was meaning Green Jeans. It was valid that Beastmaster was, because I can't really think of any other movies that actually have that as a plot point. Janie mentioned you this morning. That woman is a lot of my life. I'm so glad she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. Bro, I'm so sorry, and I don't mean this in any derogatory way, but are you sure you know what a wife is for? Because your whole aesthetic makes me think of closets. Just saying. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. It seems very... Yeah. Hey, you know anything about ghosts? Ghosts? Never encountered one myself, but I have heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave, and it seems like it provides them with a sort of spiritual healing. Bro, you're a pastor. You had the perfect opportunity there to mention the Holy Ghost. One in which a pastor should have been visited by in one manner or another. As in your calling. Like, their beloved relatives are watching over them, even in death. Is this about Pearl Ann, or perhaps your mother? Have you been visited by her? No, Oscar's place is haunted. Oh, like a Scooby-Doo episode or something. I'm afraid I don't buy into that particular notion. It's a bit too spiritualist. Now, if it were a vision of one of his parents trying to contact him from heaven, I could understand that. But I simply don't believe in malicious spirits lingering neither in heaven nor hell, jumping out of closets to scare us. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for whatever it is he saw. You're the villain of this story, aren't you? You're trying to create a tragedy so that everybody goes to church. This is all your fault, isn't it? You are giving me secret villain vibes. Wait, you believe in some ghosts and not others? What makes you authority on that? I do have a degree from one of the top seminaries in the country. Yeah, so do a lot of people that don't. Yeah. I took a whole class on ghosts, so I suppose that gives me a certain authority in this situation. Well, I trust Oscar. I'm sure Mr. Gutierrez saw something, but I'm just suggesting he may have misinterpreted a sign from the beyond. A lot of folks are frightened when presented with such visions. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And besides, most seminaries aren't actually very good at actually teaching anything other than religion. Like, if they actually held up to a normal academic rigor, they would fail miserably. I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. Yep. I think it was mentioned about something about dumpsters earlier. That sounds lovely. Thank you. Really? Oh, that's great. Sorry, I just don't usually get positive responses when I ask folks if they want to come up to the church. I'm being polite, sir. Read the room. Anytime that works for you, just swing by. I'm sure I'll be around. It was lovely meeting you. And you have a blessed day, Darker Neon. Pastor leaves you be and joins the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. Go after them. Butch Oscar. There we go. He's manning up. Oh my God. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine. I'm sorry. Let me restart. I was doing the same voice for both people. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain medication, so I'm not sure how she's going to feel when that wears off. If my brother's any indication, you go through a little bit of depression, but you're just more upset at being held back from having to wait for things to heal, because you want to get back on what's on your feet. You know what I mean? And it was the whole foot? Yeah, it's bad, but she's alive, and we'll both be able to move on from this. We just have to get through the tough parts first. We're here for you, man. Thank you, all of you. Everything feels like it happened so fast. It did. I know all our lives have changed, but it's taken my mind a little bit to catch up. I feel like such a mess. I hope it isn't keeping me from being the dad she needs right now. Bro, your parental insecurity is what got you in this mess in the first place. You're so wanting to be a good parent that you're afraid to parent. Don't worry, she'll blame you for whatever she wants anyway. So you might as well do what you feel is right as being a parent for them. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I better get going. Yeah, you did. You called it. You were right. She lost the foot. I was only supposed to come back and pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway, and they needed the beds, so I have to come pick her up. Wait, what? Even though our house is still haunted and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening. Sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Yeah, we're going to get that ghost. Ghostbuster. See? I told you it was a Ghostbusters uniform. Like, Stella's got the drip. She knows what she needs to wear for what she's doing. We could always go ahead and do a Ghostbuster, whatever we're calling it, while you're out, and she'd be able to go right back to her old room as soon as she got back. That's probably a good idea, right? If only, but it doesn't come out during the day. But you don't have to wait for the ghost to be there to bust it. Like, I mean, if a ghost is haunting a place, it's because the place has a history. You know, there's a Japanese term for it, but houses with history. Like, every place that's haunted has a history. There's some reason. So you find out what that reason is. I'm still not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself that it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple of times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. Don't worry, Oscar. We'll fix this. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, we will. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear. Come on, man. Get your Jim Carrey quotes right. You were close, though. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm heading out. Should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see you all then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come to the ghost hunting with us. Oh no, you're not going to try and get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from the news around town. Jeez, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we just play it by ear. Anyways, shall we? Time to go. So I finally met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. Right? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I just corrected your quoting because I was a huge Jim Carrey fan. And then he did Man on the Moon, and he lost me. Maybe, but I don't know if this town is even on CPS's radar. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the... Oh, I hate when they do that. Pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. I think he just really wants people to like him. But he comes off as desperate. It's a vicious cycle. Aw, when you put it like that, his whole situation is kind of sad. I'm pretty sure he's the secret villain. He was so desperate that he wants people to like him that he's the one causing a lot of these messes, and he feels bad because it's actually hurting people, and that was never what he intended. Even if that's the case, doesn't mean I have to like him. Whatever the deal is, whatever his deal is, goes a step beyond trying too hard to get people to like him. Oh, yeah. Well, I just hate that they are so insecure with those pamphlets. Like people that have to tell you about their faith and how good their faith is and all of this comes across as being insecure in their faith, not secure in their faith. Because if their God, spiritual person, whatever, is that good, that strong, they shouldn't have to do anything but lead by example, just by living. Just by being there, doing good things, doing the things your religion says you should. That should be enough to show people that's a good life. Exactly. The man was grinning through all of my dad's funeral. He's not normal. And I don't mean that in a stigmatized mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him, and that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it, too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. Do you guys mind if I invite Tabitha to go ghost hunting? Please don't. Oh my God, yes! Can you imagine how much fun that would be if she actually shows? Stella, come on. I know you think you have some sort of bond with her, but she's awful. She isn't even nice to you. You just haven't given her a chance. Maybe if she comes along tonight, the two of you will finally get along. No. Okay. I won't invite her. Great. Thanks. And if you don't mind, maybe stop trying to involve her in things. I don't want to keep looking over my shoulder expecting to see her grouchy face sneaking up behind me. What about inviting Avery? Oh, huh. Sure, I guess. More the merrier, right? Maybe there'll be an extra voice of reason. We won't Be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool. I'll text him on the way over to Reese's. Head to Reese's. See if we can get some pieces. All right. Shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. You once again find yourself in front of the Kelly residence. A cold hesitation grips you as the building's history looms over you from the hilltop. A refurbished Civil War hospital and tuberculosis clinic would be a strange and difficult place to live in during the best of times. You could only imagine the challenges of living there with a severe chronic illness. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? This must be Reese. Dude, get some meat on those bones. Get some bones on those meat. Rando, that saying was just for you. Hey. Oh, no, let's see. Sickly guy. Hey. Reese. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. It's been ages. Yeah, I knew there was something going. Yeah. You must be Darker Neon, right? I heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Darker Neon updates. A nice Chianti. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip. She tries to get between them. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella. And you brought that dog. Great. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. The dog stays outside. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at that. Skin and bones, man. But it's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some of those easy chew dog jerkies stashed away. But we go everywhere together. Do you want to come in or not? Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards the van. Well, what about you, Darker Neon? Are you coming in? Right? No, I think he's infected. I think he's turning into one of the ditchlings. I think it's a cult thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but... Oh, sure. You follow Reese and Dr. Kelly inside. Stella and Kanika aren't far behind. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. Oh, so like I grew up. I wish maybe I should get depressed. Maybe I could lose a few pounds. That's a joke, by the way. That is a bad joke, but it is a joke, damn it. Oh, you want me depressed? Of course. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you wandered into a real estate showing. Yes, I know you're kidding. So, how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the rolls, which shouldn't be long. No, it'd only take like 10 minutes if they're store-bought. Then we can have a quick dinner, and you can leave my house and go about your business. Bitch. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time right now. You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Hey, then it's better than my room when I was a teenager. That was kept that way so nobody else would come into my room. It was the only way to keep people out. More disturbingly is I found a glass of orange juice behind my desk. I'm so glad it didn't mold, but we lived in Nevada, so it was dehydrated. Don't ask, it was bad. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Yeah, okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. Well, I'm sure she will, because she'll make sure of it. You make your way towards the basement stairs. Oh, wow. That isn't that much of a mess. This is an artist's room. And some of those almost look like ditchlings. That is actually some pretty cool artwork. Yeah, Pinhead. I think I know that movie poster, but I'm not sure. Like, it looks very familiar, like I've seen it somewhere, but I can't place it. I like the post-it notes over the eyes and certain features. That's funny. And I keep seeing Jar Jar Binks flayed open, and I don't know why in this picture right here. You know, I mean, maybe it's just me, but that's what I see. Oh, apparently he didn't like that one. And this isn't that much of a mess. I mean, yeah, okay, a little bit to clean up there. But you can definitely tell it's sectioned out into workplaces. Computer. The actual easel area. Video gaming, beanbags, bed. And I like that. Can you move for a second, bud? I want to see the mural on the wall. Can you move? Even just a little bit to the left. No? All right. Fine. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to a studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneer out at their creator. Right. Well, maybe not Stalin's level. I mean, because you also got to remember, he might also have just a naturally slight frame. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Do you need us to sneak you out of here? This place feels like a prison. I like the smirk she got on her face. Unfortunately, the prison we're dealing with here is my body, not my room. Are you sure there's nothing we can do? Your company is plenty. It's so nice to have living people down here for a change. I don't like how he said that. You know we'd visit more often if your mom let us. Did she tell you she turned us away yesterday? She said we couldn't even talk to you. It's a little controlling. You came by yesterday? She didn't tell me. But I was probably asleep, that's all. I honestly think Mom is keeping him sick. I still think that this is a Munchausen by proxy. She didn't want to wake me up, and I don't think that's her being controlling or anything. Not to cast any doubt on... Oh, wait, no, this is Stella. Not to cast any doubt on that, but she did say I couldn't bring you any food. She knows that's how I show my friends how much I appreciate them, and she knows I can work around all kinds of allergies and intolerances. Not gonna lie, it felt weird. I think this one, and I think the one behind him, I like that mural too. Those are cool. This one I just see, like I say, keep seeing Jar Jar Binks. But I mean, yes, I know it's two hands in a rib cage and a face like screaming up. But for some reason, I keep seeing Jar Jar Binks. Maybe I have some issues with Jar Jar Binks. I don't know. It's latent Freudian, self-analysis I need to do. I thought I was flirting with Stella. I mean, he's cool. Don't get me wrong. But I thought I was flirting with Stella. I don't know. My body's pretty particular when it comes to food. She just prefers to have full control over what I eat, so... okay. Maybe that does sound controlling. Oh, yeah. Stella? Yeah, I was going to say, I was pretty sure that's the one that I was making my love interest. But it's for a good reason. If I eat the wrong thing, it could really mess me up. So she has to regulate my food. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. This is Munchausen's by proxy. You keep your... I mean, anybody that knows the Gypsy Rose story. One, the mom has all the medical information needed to keep him sick, but not dead. Controls everything he does, gets the sympathy of the town by proxy because her kid's sick and she's constantly have to take care of him. And it probably started out because she was bored, losing her mind in a small town as being the only medical person. So has Stella told you everything that happened in the past couple of days? Every detail. I wish I could see some of it myself, but he gestures futilely. He gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? Over here? Nah, they make me think of like Cenobite worshippers. Hellraiser. The people that show up are called Cenobites. These make me think of like the cult of the Cenobites. Because they actually do exist. The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. Are you? I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to... There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die has already been cast, has it? I seriously doubt it. I almost guarantee you, the special foods that make you sick are things that your mom has poisoned because she thinks they're bad for you. But we were talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they looked like something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. I told you. Yep, there they are. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Okay, that is exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean? That they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know. But I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. Do you think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point. But I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not. But it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. See, and it's also funny because he doesn't call the doc Mom. It's the doc. That shows like a level of control and separation. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, Yeah, I hope so. But the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. I mean, if you got some kind of, you see, this is what's bothering me. If he had actually an immunological disease, his mom wouldn't let him have the room like this. One, she would also know that it'd be bad to have him in a basement. One of the best things to kill germs is sunlight. Like, it's the one thing they don't get an immunity to. You know, dried out, sunlight, that kind of thing. So it'd be better if he was on the main floor or on an upper floor, not in the freaking basement. What do you think of my cousin? She was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me personally if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. Nope. Still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. Who are you talking about, Stella? I love your perky optimism. But who are you talking about? Because that doesn't sound like the person I've met named Tabitha. So I think we know two different ones. I'll pass. Thanks. What do you think's going on with Wayne? Who? You know, that guy that's been following Darker Neon around, all ominous. Oh yeah, the slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look for all of our sakes. So what are you sick with? Sorry, Reese. Darker Neon is pretty direct. We don't have to talk about your illness. It's okay. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. Haha, you're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. You haven't, right? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's getting worse. See, I'm telling you, this is exactly the same pattern as Gypsy Rose. Nobody really knows what's wrong other than that something is wrong. And they have to escalate it over time. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling. This sounds, there is a particular kind of poisoning. Low-level poisoning. Test his fingernails and hair. I guarantee you there's some heavy metal there. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future... Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, these are classic metal poisoning or chronic poisoning, low-level poisoning signs and symptoms. Eye drops. And I think that's what they're pushing up. That a lot of the people in town are really, well, lack of a better way of saying it, fucked up. You got the cult leader vibes of the pastor, which I'm wondering how many people are actually going to midnight mass with this guy. Because he seems to be more the one that makes personal visits. And I'm wondering if his wife is really his wife. So I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable. But one day I'll wind up in a pine box just like everyone else. And I'm okay with that. You tell yourself that. But don't you want to spend some time outside of your four walls? You say you're fine with it, but then you won't actually go out and live. You're not living now. You're just extending the lack of life you have. Damn, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. See, and that's a difference. He's emo, not goth. He's got the ennui. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys, but you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine. No, dude. You have just gotten used to your low level. That does not mean you're fine. This is just your normal. Oh, God, this is not Ghost at all. Bro. Surely there must be something the doctors can do for you. Even if it's just helping you deal with the symptoms. Okay, yes, he has the pasty white boy thing down with the swoosh. Okay, but he doesn't have the Inui. The doc upstairs consulted with a lot of specialists. I've tried a lot of medications, which make you sick if you're not sick. You take medication if you don't have that illness, it makes you sick. Man, too bad Ghost isn't here. Because that was funny. Yep, there you go, Infinite. That's literally what I was just... Sure, some have been able to alleviate symptoms, but they always come with their own fun side effects. It wound up being a question of picking which set of discomforts I wanted to deal with. I settled on constant nausea and vomiting and a persistent itch I can't scratch. It's manageable. Yes, they both did. They were both good. As long as I can still paint, I don't care. And hey, it isn't all bad. Some of it is just weird, like this. Reese pulls the skin of his arm, it stretches unnaturally. Yeah, unless you have hyperelastism, that shouldn't be done. Yeah, hyperelasticity. Kind of cool, right? Whoa! Does that not hurt? Nope, feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medicine, or some other part of my condition. I've actually seen somebody in real life with hyperelasticity, and they can actually grab their neck skin and basically pull it up over their head. It was weird. Kid in high school had it. Yeah. He was a weird kid. He was fun to hang out with, though. I'm not sure if I actually agree with the Bakinski, but I do, yeah. Goya. Yeah, this is very Goya. Real Goya Black Period vibes with a healthy dose of Bakinski. Thank you, I think. You don't know artists? Yes, that's a good thing. Then thank you. I really appreciate it. To be honest, I don't know much about art history. It's not exactly a popular subject in tiny K through 12 rural schools, so my arts education was lacking. You have a library. And in some places, I'm pretty sure they deliver to sick people. You just have to use the system. It always baffles me when they say, oh, well, the school didn't teach me that. Okay, well, you can always, if it's your interest, if art is your interest, why aren't you researching it? I never understand that. Maybe, I know it's because I'm weird. I shouldn't say maybe it's because I'm weird. I know it's because I'm weird. I like researching things I don't know. I'm working in the dark as far as influence. Which, that has its place too. And you're doing great, man. You know, you could gain a real following if you ever posted these online. Just saying. Posted them online. Dude could have a mint. Like, he could leave. If he's really thinking he's going to die, He could legit leave a legacy for his mom. Nah, I think I'm okay sticking to sparsely overpopulated late night live streams. Hey, sounds like me. That's all the social media I can handle. Right? Well, see, okay, I used to... I'm laughing. Yes, that's good. I don't know how you deal with it. What was the conversation ahead of this? And you're doing great, man. You know, you could just gain a real following if you ever posted these online. Just saying. Nah, I think I'm okay sticking to sparsely populated late night live streams. That's all the social media I can handle. Bro, don't call me out. That's where I got sidetracked, because he's calling me out. And I don't know how you do it, Stella, having to exist in front of all these people all the time, knowing some version of you lives in their heads, knowing they expect something out of you that you might not be able to give them. That's their problem, not mine. See, that's where you lost me. I'm just me. I'm not trying to be something other than that. It's not my fault if I can't give you what you need. I'm sorry. Find somebody that can. Exactly. And I was really surprised. Rando, I expect certain things from you. And I first read that as "Get thee behind me, Satan." Not Satan, Satan. Because I expected that from you. Because, you know, says the Brujo who writes witchy romance articles in company of his black cat born on a Friday the 13th. Okay, but if the only time you ever put your art on display is a live stream during ghoul hours, when am I going to be able to see what you've been working on? Tell you what, when I die, I'll leave you my paintings. Then you can see them all. And maybe they'll be worth millions since I'll be dead. I'd be able to rest easy knowing someone had retroactively given my life value. Quite a movie collection you got. Any recommendations? Says the Brujo who writes witchy romance articles in the company of his black cat born on a Friday the 13th. Says the Brujo who writes witchy romance articles in the company of his black cat born on Friday the 13th. Says the Brujo who writes witchy romance articles in the company of his black cat born on Friday the 13th. I almost really flubbed it up, but I'm okay with the little flubs I did. Right? Friday the 13th's great. I have a... I did little flubs in there, but I got mostly. I didn't totally stutter it. I don't like... You know, I'm really good at picking my challenges. There wasn't anything that was real tricky in that. That's quite the movie collection you've got. Got any Rex? Well, as long as they're not hunting me for the tax fraud, we're all good. Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shino-Chi? Deathblood? I saw that for the first time recently and it blew me away. Shino-Chi. That's vaguely familiar. Maybe I have seen something about that. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We could even put it on after dinner if you guys are interested. Ooh, nice. Silent Chains, is that the one you're doing, the mafia romance? Let's hope so. Damn, I would usually be down for that, but we've got to head over to Oscar's after this. We promised we'd ghost bust his place. He's apparently been dealing with a bad haunting. And I feel we should really be there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina both need our support right now. They literally kicked a child out of a hospital who just had her foot amputated the next day. And I feel we really should report. Oh, I already just read that. We could always ditch this movie sounds good. No. I'll make a rain check on that movie, though. Take a rain check on that movie, though. Yeah, we'll definitely come by for a movie night this week. I'm free tomorrow night. Same goes for Darker Neon. I should probably work tomorrow, but I can close up early. So you three go way back. Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K through 12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. I actually was raised in a town that it wasn't quite one room either, but it was K through 12. Bonner, Montana, 6 miles outside of Missoula. We're lucky we all got along as much as we blah blah blah. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Wow, this is hard for me. No, we all had our individual classrooms. In fact, we're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. Tabitha? No, it actually had 12 rooms because there was enough students. Or no, it had to have a little bit more than that because there was 2 first grades, 2 second grades. I think it was 2 all the way up to 5th grade, but by the time they was in 6th grade, it was all one classroom because they started losing kids. People were dropping out. Retention wasn't really good. They just happened to be born around the same time as real jerks and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I can name. I told you, Tabitha. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe to you, the way she used to look at me, you'd think I rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here. To be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Want to do some ghost hunting tonight with us? Oh, wow. You think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. That would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Right? Cactus is juicy once you get past the spikes. That's why you use a knife and carve them off. Dinner's got to be ready by now, right? Almost on cue, Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. I guess that's it for catching up. Make sure y'all wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs. Sure thing, Doc. Yes, ma'am. Ha! You make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you accidentally wandered into a different, older house. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it. Something dark, cold. Something that reminds you of dusty tunnels you nearly escaped last night. An oppressive hum just beyond your hearing fills the air, and you feel strange. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn as if hypnotized. Right? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, is there's a lot of things that don't add up. Like, yeah, she'd make him wear a mask if she was that worried about it. Open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. Is there any way to resist it? No, I guess we open the door. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand, your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. What do you think you're doing? Well, there's something compelling about this door. No, there isn't. Now wash your hands. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind that door. Oh, no, you don't. Come on, wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eyes and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Oh no, I think I just figured it out. She brought Reese back from the dead. That's why the ditchlings glom onto her. Or him. That's why she's so protective, because he's already died once. That's what's creating this whole loop. Maybe. She has some artifact that's artificially sustaining his life. I may be wrong about the Munchausen by proxy, if that's the case. She has to give him special food. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. Given her protectiveness towards Reese, you find it odd that he's seated between the two of you, rather than the other way around. It's almost as though she's guarded not only towards you and Stella and Kanika, but towards her son as well. She is the town doctor. This dinner, might be a good opportunity to question her about recent events. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. Dry swallows them. Damn, dude. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste in brands. And if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Honestly, I have made spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce from scratch, and I have made pasta sauce from a jar. The effort and time that goes into making a pasta sauce from scratch, unless you have the absolute perfect ingredients, like homemade tomatoes of the right kind, everything, it ain't worth going through the extra effort. All you do is you take a regular can of your favorite. I use Prego, whatever stripe you want. And then I added extra garlic. I add an extra thing of tomato sauce and tomato paste to thicken it up. And I add extra onion, because I like onion. And then I add extra garlic. Yes, I know I said garlic twice. And then I add extra Italian herbs right before serving. Just the dried herb, sprinkle it on about 10 minutes ahead of time. It rehydrates the herb, and it gives you that extra herb kick right at the end. And if it is a little just add a little extra Italian herb. Or if you have it, if you actually have like the oregano, the basil, stuff like that, you add those. But Italian herb's just as good. But if it gets a little tinny flavor, like a little metallic from the canned stuff, the canned sauce and the canned paste, you want to know how to take care of it? Add a pat or two of butter. Add a little fat to it. Gets rid of that tinny flavor real easy. Yeah, it's super easy, and I've used homemade goods, and it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not really worth the time and effort it takes to boil the tomatoes, to do it right, to do all of that. Just grab a jar of your favorite stuff and doctor it. It's just as good. I guarantee you 5-star restaurants are doing the same damn thing. Aww. Infinite, I am an absolute noob in my house when it comes to cooking. And I used Rando's recipe from Raven's Nest for gumbo. And I goofed it a little bit here and there, but it's good. You just need to learn, like, take it slow, take it easy, follow the recipe. You can slowly make changes as you learn what different things do. Right. As long as it's not Elmer's paste, you're good. Yeah, tomato paste, tomato sauce, real easy. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. You didn't tell me they came by yesterday. You were asleep. I didn't want to wake you up. But you could have told me.